Hello, my friends. Welcome. It is Claudia here, and it is with a humble bow and deep, deep, deep gratitude that I present to you day one of mindful movement with Fable. So this class today is going to set the tone for this entire series. We will start as we mean to go on by taking the time to drop in a deep way. So we will connect to the body, we will connect to breath, we will connect to our intention, and then we will come into stretching the body open in a really sustainable and nourishing way. Okay? So without further ado, let's get started in a seated position. So cross your legs, sit up tall, and then place your hands wherever is calling you. Close down your eyelids and breathe. Breathing, settling, and relaxing. Coming into a place of stillness. Even though stillness might be the hardest quality to achieve right now. And then just beginning to use your breath as a gateway to the sacredness within you, to the sacredness of this community, of this network, as you begin to sense and feel and perceive all of the people that are breathing with you right now as you take a deep breath in. Let it go, breathe out. So I want you to use the breath less as one that is just sustaining life and more of one that is fully awakening it. So again, take a long breath in and then a cleansing breath out. Good. We'll do one more cycle. So inhale and just begin to scan your body for any residual tension. Breathe in. Hold your breath at the top and see if you could take another sip of air in. Now part your lips and completely let go. Nice. Now as you just begin to pay attention to your breath, allow your physical body to slip deeper and deeper into a restful state. Allowing your subconscious mind to turn on and to become aware. Now, I invite you to set Earth Witness Mudra here. So you can place your right hand on the ground and then place your left hand on your heart. So we're going to give with our right hand. Anything that you're ready to let go of, anything that you're ready to shift, we will give back to Mother Earth and let her transmute that energy. And then we receive with our left hand our heart's intentions, our heart's desires, so you can fully uncover who it is that you are and what it is that you want to bring into this practice, into this new month, into this new year. And now as we step into this new year, this new month, this time, this practice, let it be really intentional. So be present, take ownership of it. We don't always get to choose what happens to us, but we do get to choose what kind of energy we show up with. Now you have some time and space to set an intention or a sankalpa for this session, for this entire series. Now sankalpa represents your heart's deepest longing. Sankalpa is a sure and present tense statement starting with I. For example, if you're struggling with issues around scarcity, your sankalpa might be, I am abundant. Or if you are having trouble to say no to things that don't really serve you, it might be, I stand in my own truth. What direction do you want to head in this year? What bridges do you want to mend? What experiences do you want to have? What experiences do you want to cultivate in? What is the energy that you want to show up with? Make a decision and don't let the outside world set the agenda. You set it for yourself. Set it deeply. Now once that sankalpa materializes, I want you to imagine this intention take form as a tiny seed at the very center of your heart. And then imagine this seed grow tiny roots, extending its tendrils in and around your entire being, and then eventually nesting a seed in that space underneath the palm of your hand. Allowing this seed, this intention, this sankalpa to really materialize as you breathe. So take a big breath in. Deep breath out. Now, if you are new to yoga and you're wondering what that sound is, we use sound on the exhalation to really help us clear and shift and release and to fully land into this present moment. So again, I want you to make the breath even more audible now. Deep inhale. Out the mouth, exhale. So nice. One more round. Let it really anchor you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, my loves. Strap yourself in. We've got quite a journey ahead of us. Flutter your eyelids open. And let's begin to shuffle and shift ourselves forward into a tabletop position. So stack your joints here so your shoulders are directly over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. So we have this structural support of the bones. We're going to spread all 10 fingertips really wide and press down through them. Now press down through your shins simultaneously, and then as you breathe in, begin to drop your belly. Tilt your tailbone up. Open up your chest and then pinch your shoulder blades together here. So by default, we begin to expand through the heart space. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we round in the opposite direction. So let's take this nice and slow. Tuck your chin in. Tuck the tailbone under and then find protraction of your shoulders. So we find protraction of the shoulders. Now, what does that mean? It means pull your shoulder blades away from one another. The navel is in, gaze towards your knees. Take another breath in. And then as you breathe out, begin to release. So soften the belly. Let's take it back to our cow position. So soften the belly down as you open your chest up. Happy cow, breathe in. As you breathe out, round your back in the opposite direction. And I want you to really over-exaggerate this movement. Good. Let's do 2 more rounds with the breath. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale to cat pose. It's like you're pumping some moisturizer in your spine. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really nice, everyone. Begin to straighten out your spine. Okay, from here we're going to work into the hips. So you're just going to bring your right foot all the way past your right wrist. And then you can send your left knee a little further back. So by consequence, we work into that left hip flexor, the left psoas. Then we're going to get the right hip involved. So pick the left knee off the yoga mat and begin to rotate through your right hip, through the hip girdle. So you might hear a little pop right now, a little crackle. That's all good. That's perfect. Just beginning to lubricate and energize and mobilize the hips. Now go one way and then switch the direction. Go the opposite way. And keep your breath swirling throughout the body. So let that breath make its way to any spaces that feel a little bit tight. Okay, nice. Now, once you've balanced out the side, keep the right foot where it is. Reach your right arm all the way up. So from here, we're going to work into the outer hip. You're going to turn all 10 toes to the long side of your yoga mat. I'm going to wiggle this right foot closer in to the midline of the body. Stomp down through the right heel so you lift up through the hip, through your right hand. So right now you should feel this in the outer hip, that IT band, that space between the gluteus minimus and the big gluteus maximus. And this space gets really tight if you do a lot of linear movements, a lot of running, cycling. Actually, it gets tight if you do a lot of sitting. Let's face it, we've all been sitting down a little more than normal. So let's just hang out and stretch here. Take one more big breath in and try to lift a little higher. Deep breath out, stay in full capacity of the shape so you're nice and strong. Nice. Now let's begin to turn all 10 toes back forward. Bring the right hand down to the ground, and we're just going to shimmy the right foot to the center of the yoga mat. Soften the left knee to the earth. Press down through the right foot and then lift up your arms. So we're going to take this to a diagonal stretch now. You're going to grab hold of your left wrist with the right hand. Keep your navel in so you're not crunching your lower back. Lift up through the side seams of your body. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, pull your left hand over to the right. We'll take 2 more breaths here, just like that. So inhale, go for length, sparkle up the hand. Exhale, pull the arm over to the right. 1 more. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you arc. So nice. Breathe in and release your hands, reach them up. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Step the right foot back to a tabletop position. Hoo-hoo, hello hips. Okay, what goes around comes around. Left side we go. So let's bring this left foot all the way forward to the outside of the left wrist. Pick up your right knee, so curl the right toes under. Begin to take some rotations through your left hip. The femur bone, which is a ball rotating around a socket. So again, if you hear a little crackle, that's all good. Now switch the direction, go the opposite way. And if spaces do feel a little bit tight today, I don't want you to see it as like, I feel really tight. I want you to see it as like, yay, I feel tight. And I'm practicing yoga and I get to experience this delicious process of opening. Okay, now with that, let's begin to open the outer hip. So again, you're going to reach the left arm up. Turn the toes to the left, wiggle the left foot closer in, press down through the left heel so you lift through the outer hip. Reach the left arm up, hold and breathe. Now stay rooted through your 3 points of contact and then lift up to the sky. So there's energy moving in opposite directions. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful, everyone. Begin to spin the toes back forward. Drop your right knee. Give that left foot a little wiggle to the center of the yoga mat. Press down through all 5 toes of the left foot and lift your arms up. So straighten the arms all the way up. And now this time you're going to grab hold of your right wrist. You anchor down through the bottom half of the body and then lift up through your upper body. Now pull the right arm over to the left. Hello, right side. Let's get it involved. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out to arc your body into arrival of day 1. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. So nice, everyone. Sweep your arms up. Breathe in. Bring the hands to the ground and breathe out. Okay, now listen. This time we're going to step the right foot all the way forward to meet the left foot. Now fold yourself forward. So bend into your knees nice and deeply here. Make sure your feet are about hip width apart. Drop the skull. The invitation is to grab hold of opposite elbows and then just sway the forearms from side to side. So just begin to release through the entire back plane of your body. Your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back, your mid back, your upper back, the shoulder girdle, your skull. Begin to release through the entire cloak of your skin. Now with this sense of groundedness, tuck your chin in, roll your body all the way up to standing. Close down your eyes. Now, once the head lifts, let's have you bring your arms all the way up over the head. Let's make this super intentional. So bring the hands to prayer position and then trace your thumbs to your third eye center. For clarity of your thoughts and manifesting your dreams, your intentions, your sankalpa into existence. Now trace the thumbs to your lips for clarity of speech and only speaking words of truth. And then trace the thumbs to the center of your chest for clarity of actions and only acting in ways that align with your higher self. Now from that deep place within you, take a full breath in. Out the mouth, breathe out. Okay, so nice, my friends. Flutter your eyelids back open. Sweep your arms all the way up. So lift yourself up like a sunrise. Light your body up. As you breathe out, fold yourself forward. So you can bring your hands back to prayer position. This time, hinge from your hips as you fold. Straighten out your spine. Soften the skull. And then we'll bring the hands all the way down to the ground. So that might mean you have to bend your knees quite deeply in order to bring them down. Walk your feet back, and now we will arrive in our first downward facing dog. So bring the feet back, bring the hands shoulder distance apart, feet are hips distance apart, your arms are strong, your spine is long, and then I'd encourage everyone to bend the knees here. Check in with your points of contact, your base. So spread all 10 fingers, root them down, spread all 10 toes and plug them down too. Take a breath in and then a deep breath out. So nice, everyone. We're going to sweep the right foot up and back behind us. Breathe in. Now, as you breathe out, bring the right knee behind your right wrist. Pigeon pose. So the knee's going to come down and your right shin will come to a 45-degree angle under the body. So just check in with your right heel, bring it close to your left hip, and then send the left knee back. So drop the knee, push it back. So by default, the hips begin to lower. Now we'll bring the fingertips wide, tent up onto them, lift up out of the waist, lengthen through the side seams of the body, breathe in. Now as you breathe out, we're going to intentionally fold forward. So walk your fingertips forward. Keep all of this space that you've created and then drop down onto your forearms. If this feels too intense on your knee, roll over onto your back and take figure 4 position. Now, if you're in pigeon with me, you've got a few options. You can stay on the forearms, or it might feel nice to keep walking the hands even further forward, dropping the forehead all the way down to the ground. Now, I'm going to give you about 60 seconds here. 60 seconds to be with your breath. Now, there is energy moving in different directions here. So I want you to just check in with your hips. Try to pull your left hip forward as your right hip sasses back. So over time, the hips neutralize. Fingertips are still walking forward. So this is a intentional fold rather than a collapse. So we keep walking the hands forward to find length through the spine. And then simultaneously, we drive the hips in line and push the hips back. Now keep that breath activated. One more steady breath in. Deep breath out. Really nice, everyone. Begin to lift up your chest. Move super slowly. So bring the hands under your shoulders. Imagine you're like a cat waking up from a nap. The hands are going to come under the shoulders. You're going to bring the right knee back under your hip. Sway your hips from side to side. And just feel those mobilizations take place in the right hip. All right, let's have you curl the toes back under. Bring the knees up. Push your hips back. Downward facing dog, only for a transition. So sweep that left foot back behind you. Breathe in. As you breathe out, the left knee glides all the way forward behind your left wrist. Left shin comes down to the ground. Left heel is close to your right hip flexor. Send your right knee back. Lower the hips down. Bring the fingertips wide. Tent up onto the fingertips. Take a breath in as you lift up. So we lift up from the waist, Open up through the heart space. Breathe in. As you breathe out, walk your hands forward. Soften down onto your elbows, or come all the way down to your forehead. Now we've got 60 seconds. 60 seconds in full release. In permission. In openness. So can you just be with what comes your way? Now it doesn't take long to notice how turbulent the mind can be. Constantly moving and racing and fantasizing, but can you draw it back lovingly and kindly? Can you draw it back to the breath? Take one more big breath in here. And then a full breath out. All right, my loves, lift up your chest, take your time. We don't want to re-trigger the nervous system. So lower onto your left hip from here. Bring that right foot all the way forward, and we'll just give that left leg a shake out again. So you can bring your feet as wide as the yoga mat. Bring the hands behind you and just knock the knees from side to side a few times. Allowing the blood to circulate back through the left leg. When we hold these poses a little longer, it's kind of like when you fold a hose pipe in half and the water clogs up, and then you open it back out and it just gushes and swirls back around and throughout the entire body. So enjoy all of that energy, that blood, that prana moving around. And then let's have you bring the feet to the ground. Place the hands behind the backs of the knees, and let's begin to unravel the spine all the way down to the ground. Once the spine releases, draw your right knee in and then extend your left leg long. So I want you to bring your right knee into your right shoulder here, avoiding your rib cage, avoiding your lungs. So you feel a little bit of traction, a little bit of compression as you bring it in. Inhale. Now as you exhale, guide your knee over to the left. You can use your left hand here, sweep your right arm all the way out. Supine twist. So eventually the knee will lower. Keep anchored through your right shoulder, and the invitation is to look over to the right here and then drop down the eyelids. So again, we'll be here for about 60 seconds to decompress. And now we use that physical decompression to be the gateway to any emotional, any mental decompression. Can you make your last few breaths here even more nourishing? Even more cleansing, even more intentional. All right, very nice. Start to release. Slowly does it. Re-extend your right leg all the way forward and down. Give the hips a little bit of a sway. Feel the effects of the twist, of the pose, of the asana. And then let's marry what we did on the right with the left. The left knee draws in. Grab a hold of it. Pull it in to that left shoulder. So squeeze it in. Feel some compression. Inhale. As you exhale, draw the knee over to the right. And then twist your body over to the left. Left shoulder remains flat on the ground. And then again, soften your eyelids. So you begin to shut down from any external distraction. You've got no other option but to be with what happens on the internal. Now the ask is that you really begin to harmonize your breath and your body and your mind as one for these next 3 cycles. So how do we do that? We feel the belly, the chest expand as we breathe in. And we feel the spine twist even deeper as we breathe out. Bringing your full presence into this pose. Just one more cycle. Inhale. Exhale. So nice, everyone. Keep this ease, this tenderness, and begin to extend both legs all the way forward and down. And now we will come to our final position of this practice. So kick your heels forward and then let your toes just fall away from one another. Stretch your arms out wide and then begin to soften through your entire back body. Close down your eyes and know that the biggest gift you can give yourself is time. So take this time to relax. Begin to reawaken your physical. So begin to tap your thumb against each finger. Give the toes a wiggle. And then encourage your breath to move throughout your entire body. Now let's have you bring your knees in and then just drop your knees over to the right as you land in a fetal position. So Savasana represents the end of a practice, whilst this position represents new beginnings. So I want you to set yourself a new intention here, to take all that you built today, to take your sankalpa, your intention, take it from the yoga mat and into the rest of your day, your week, this month, this year. Now with that, begin to press yourself up to a seat. Just like how we started, keep your eyes closed, cross your legs, stack the spine like a pillar. And then bring your hands to prayer position, Anjala Mudra prayer, the center of the chest, thumbs to the sternum. Bow your chin to your chest in honor of the practice, in honor of everyone that is practicing, and in honor of yourself for making the time, for holding this sacred space, for sharing your energy, and for giving your body and your mind the gift of yoga. Bow your brain to your heart and your heart all the way forward, and let this bow be the symbol of the completion of this first practice. You made it. Day 1 complete. I truly hope you have a beautiful journey on these next 30 days. We will be here guiding you, so reach out to us. Put any questions that you might have in the comment section below. And let's get started. I'll see you tomorrow.